welcome in to another episode of Morning Edition. Julian Tedor, Andy Satowski, Jason Harper, meteorologist Ted Payton, all here. Gang!
It's all part of
We spoke it into existence. Teddy, I don't believe you were here, but Jason, Annie, myself, we were all like, okay, we're not going to mention the Hornets too much because we know they're going to win.
Yeah.
And we will be talking about them again on Thursday.
Yes,
and
we
sure
are.
enough, they won.
Ba-da-ba-ba.
But
Uh-oh.
we're talking about what happened with LaMelo. So in case you saw it or didn't see it right there,
Yeah.
I wonder if we're going to get a replay. It's what he did, maybe accidentally, to LaMelo. Or not LaMelo, to Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
Let's see right here. And they didn't call this a flagrant foul at the time, right?
Yeah.
Normally, the refs, if they wanted to, they would have had to stop play, review it. They didn't do that. The NBA reviewed it after the fact and determined it was a flagrant 2 foul, which if it had happened during the game, LaMelo Ball would have been ejected. We know he hit the game winner. He's been fined $250,000 for that. Let's see here. I'm just going to go ahead and do this so we can see it again real quick here. I'm going to bring this back and then fire it up. Watch
You gotta
LaMelo.
watch his
Right.
hand. It looks
Right
like
there.
he goes for his ankle.
It's kind of hard. The
Yeah.
alternate angle when you do it in slow mo,
Yeah.
he like comes down and both of his feet are on the ground, and Melo kind of like reaches over there, like just as his foot hits the ground, and kind of does that,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like pulls his ankle out from under him,
Mhm.
and he didn't come back from.
He did not.
No,
and
he
he's.
didn't.
I don't follow the NBA too much. I'm so sorry,
Mhm.
but now we're talking postseason basketball, so I'm like locked in.
That's
But
it.
Adebayo's
That's when
very,
everybody pays
but he's
attention
good.
anyway.
He is now the second, has the record for second most points in the game that he dropped against the Wizards,
So he's
beating
good.
Kobe's 81. He is their star player,
Would that have
Yeah.
had an impact on the game?
100%.
Absolutely.
Especially
Oh.
because Moussa Diabate, the Hornets starting center, went crazy on the offensive glass for the Hornets. A lot of second chance opportunities. One, you're losing the offensive output from Bam Adebayo, but also the rebounding. So it was a huge loss for them.
Yeah.
How much into the game did this happen?
This was, I
Was it
believe,
towards the end?
No, I think it was earlier.
Oh.
I think
first
it
or
was
second
before
quarter?
half.
So,
Before half.
oh, so there would have been a lot more
Yeah.
playtime with him.
Yeah.
Oh my
Had
God.
this not happened.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it was before halftime.
Yeah. Second quarter, I think.
Yeah, that's tough.
But the Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra was livid
Yeah,
with the
Yeah.
refs because again they had the ability to stop play and take a look at this in real time.
and they
And
did
they
it.
didn't.
They didn't do that.
Now, forgive me because I don't have as much knowledge in NBA as
Yeah.
I do, like maybe in NFL.
Mhm.
Can there not be like a what do you call it in football? You know, when you
Like a
Challenge?
challenge.
Yeah, like a challenge. Can that not be done in NBA where it's like, whoa, blow a whistle, timeout, let's review the play.
They can challenge it. I don't know if that's a challenge. I don't
it's
know if you could have
challengeable?
challengeable because it wasn't a stop and play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I think you would have had to have a stop and play for them to challenge it, which again, it's interesting. So the Heat had the ball while he's writhing around.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah.
they wanted to, and I don't know why, like looking back on it, Spoelstra could have called a timeout
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and had them look
That's
at
what I'm
it.
saying. Yeah, if you force the play to stop and then you challenge,
Right. So
I mean that the game could have been different. I mean, we're grateful as fans that it ended the way it ended.
Mhm.
correct.
But wow, that
You
could
kind
have
of
been a
wonder
different
why,
outcome.
talking it out loud, why Spoelstra didn't call a timeout there to have them look at it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know if anybody saw in real time.
It moves so
That's
fast.
the other part.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah,
It does move very
1,000%,
fast. You're right.
1,000%. Like, because they're big guys, they're coming down all the time. Like, he literally could have come down like on Melo's hand
It's
or
not.
something.
It's
or
also not the first time
No,
that Melo's
it's-
done this.
Oh.
But yes,
Yeah.
it's not the first time he's done it to Bam.
the point
Did-
is though, he
Mm.
still gets to play.
He still gets to play.
Come Friday.
Come Friday, and this is a matchup that a lot of Hornets fans wanted,
Mhm.
and I'll walk you through it in case people are just getting on the bandwagon. First off, welcome on.
Yeah.
Come join it. The Hive is alive. Yeah,
Yeah.
we love the fact that Charlotte is getting excited about this. The reason why a lot of Charlotte Hornets fans wanted to see Orlando instead of Philadelphia is because Philadelphia has better guard play. If you watch the end of the game against the Heat, we were taking out LaMelo Ball and taking out Kobe White. And a lot of fans were like, why are you going to take out two of your best scorers? They're great scorers. They're not great defensive players. So instead, they were putting Sion James and Grant Williams in. So Philadelphia has a really great guard by the name of Tyrese Maxey. He's great. We don't really match up too well with them.
Okay.
Orlando, we match up a lot better with. they're kind of a team in disarray. There's some rumblings they don't like their head coach.
Who doesn't want to be matched up against a team like that?
Exactly.
Disarray.
So
I like
if
disarray.
if we get them and we beat Orlando
Mhm.
in Orlando Friday night,
Ooh.
then guys, we're guaranteed 2 home playoff games.
That would be
Against the Pistons,
huge.
right?
Indeed.
Right?
That would be huge. Been over a
That'd be
decade.
So
Right.
fun.
And the crazy thing is, everybody, not everybody, but a majority of NBA fans want Charlotte to win because
Because
you guys remember the spectacle at Spectrum,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the fight between the Pistons and the Hornets.
Oh yeah.
So
Ooh.
it's a storyline that people want to see.
I can see that.
And
Yeah.
I just love
Yeah,
the fact that, like, instead of them being like, oh my God, nobody wants to see the Hornets in the postseason.
Yeah.
People are like, yeah, I want to see
Let's get
Charlotte.
it.
I like
Yeah.
that though.
Right? The narrative's changing.
I like the national attention around it, and that people are cheering for the Hornets too. I feel like maybe people don't like the Pistons that much. I don't know.
I mean, I think they've kind of, they're,
They have a reputation.
ah,
Again, I
yeah.
don't follow the NBA that much, but I watched the great documentary, The Malice at the Palace, and all that, right?
I think
Okay.
the Pistons have gone through several incarnations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there was the bad boy Pistons, and they were kind of the bad guys of the league, right? And then you had
yeah.
that championship team with Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace. Those guys were more lovable, right? And then you have this kind of incarnation, which I don't know if people dislike, but the fight at Spectrum Center, I think, turned more people against them
Yeah.
Mhm.
than brought in fans for the Pistons. So
Either way, it's a cool
Yeah.
matchup. We're excited. We're just talking about postseason basketball.
I think it just feels
Hey,
good.
say
Mhm.
LaMelo's first name and then pair it with Bam's last name.
LaMelo Adebayo.
Yeah, I just like how that sounds.
Yeah.
Roll it together. Just a good little matchup on the floor.
Roll it all in.
Oh, man.
Oh man. I look. This is also not in the same calendar year, but in 3 months' time, guys, we're talking about a Panthers playoff game,
Yes.
Charlotte FC hosting playoffs,
Come on.
Uh-huh.
right? And then now we have the Hornets hosting as well. I mean, come on.
This is great for Charlotte.
It
Sports are
really
waking
is.
up. in
Really
Queen City.
is.
It gives everyone
Yeah.
something to be excited about, even if
Mhm.
you aren't
Yeah.
really a sports fan. How can you not get excited about that?
Mhm.
We had Lee the Hornet on, who's this kid in Charlotte who has a social media account called Lee the Hornet. And he wears this cool
Cool.
Hugo, which also
He's got
Melo
to-
punched Hugo in the celebration. We got to
hyped. He got
he
hyped.
got a little hyped and he kind of bopped Hugo in the nose. We digress. But he wears this cute hat, but he does, a recap of the game.
Yeah.
And lately, in several points this season on that like 8 and 9 game win streak, even 10 at some point. But he just is so excited and so enthusiastic. But he's not a bandwagon fan. He's been doing this for 2 years.
You're right.
But for someone to see someone like him and be like, actually, this is a cool team. Like, let's go
Yeah.
Hornets. It's really fun. I like it. I love the buzz, literally and figuratively, around the city.
Okay.
That's it.
Well,
it.
look, Hornets, Buzz City, the Hive is alive. Hopefully, we're gonna speak into this again.
We're
We're gonna talk about
Let's
this
do it right here.
next
week, we're going to be
Next week.
saying we're in the playoffs.
We're talking about playoffs with the Pistons. There you go.
Yeah.
The jazz hands from Jason yesterday.
Yeah.
That's it, man. All right, coming up on the show, we have a lot more to talk about.
Uh-huh.
We're also talking about, have you guys heard of Clavicular?
Not until yesterday.
Right?
Yeah.
What?
Well, he's taking over the internet, and not necessarily for the best reasons. Also, we're talking about getting overserved on the cruise line
Ooh,
and a lawsuit that has a cruise line paying a pretty penny.
that's right.
Talking about that on Morning Edition. We'll be right back after this break.
Welcome back into this episode of Morning Edition. We might be dating ourselves in some ways, but we definitely learned a term yesterday. We were 1
You
day
did.
old. I learned it. Did you know about this?
Looks Mexican? Yeah.
I learned this
Okay,
about 45 minutes ago.
Okay, I'm with you.
Jason also
Me
worked
too,
with
brother.
me on this. So Julian's the younger one of all four of
We're on the
us.
Tiki Talks.
Yeah, on the TikToks. So there's this trend called look maxing, right? And the reason that this is trending and that people are learning more about it is because of this influencer named Clavicular, who, when you're
What
looking
a
at this
man.
video, he's in Miami. He went unconscious while out at a restaurant or a club and had to be taken to the hospital for an apparent overdose. Now, why people, and he was live streaming this. That's his whole thing. He live streams on Kick. He has hundreds of thousands of followers, if not millions on the
Mhm.
TikToks. I don't have that, so I can't look at his count. But we're talking about he's a look maxing influencer, right? So what does that really mean? That means maximizing your looks, your potential to be the most attractive that you can be. On the surface, you're like, okay, self-improvement, skincare, making yourself look better.
Sure.
But the methods that looks maxing goes to is a little bit scary. So that includes bone smashing, where they like
What?
where these Jason. I got sucked into the biggest rabbit hole yesterday. This all started with a 60 Minutes Australia interview. So these young men, it targets, teens to early 20s. And if you don't like the way your face looks, all you have to do is just like punch it a whole bunch, like in your chin, your jaw. You want a more chiseled jaw. You want your cheekbones to pop. You just like create these little micro fractures. And in theory, I think he called it Wolf's Law. Don't quote me on that. Your bones grow back stronger in that area. So basically, it's going through all these crazy and very dangerous things to achieve maximum attractiveness. And that, in theory, will help you live your best life. And at the end of the day, be more attractive to women.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's not even so much the physical change. It's fine. It's your body. Do what you want. I mean, other people will argue, is there a mental health crisis here or not? I mean, everyone can decide on here. But yeah, some were saying he did this, and he told people he did it to make other men feel inferior to his perfect masculine chiseled face. And so that, yes, eventually maybe women would find him attractive and, who knows what after that. But to purposely set oneself up to make other people feel inferior, that's problematic. It's very narcissistic to me, and
Oh, he's
not
definitely a
healthy.
narcissist. 100%.
Yeah, there's a whole go watch the 60 Minutes Australia interview with him. It's an hour long. It's insane. I couldn't look away. But there's also talking about peptides, which have become hugely popular because of influencers. It's an unregulated thing.
Some are.
I don't know. Some are. I don't know
Yeah.
much about it. I haven't done a lot of research. But if you are in that space, you're going to see a lot of people saying, "This is my protocol." And even him during that interview, he said, "I don't want to say exactly what I do in this interview because I don't want people to follow exactly what I do." A little bit smart there, being like, "I don't want to get sued for it," but
I feel like his peptide stack is the least concerning thing
yes,
about him, because so in that post that we showed you there, one of the things he said on that post is all the substances are just to cope, trying to feel neurotypical while being in public, but obviously that isn't a real solution. So, I mean, if you want to talk about drug problems 101, whenever you're taking drugs to cope
Yeah.
that aren't prescribed by a doctor,
yeah.
that is cause for concern.
He's also admitted to in the past, he says he doesn't do it now, but doing meth.
Yep.
Because it is a appetite, or using it as an appetite suppressant because it's a stimulant, and saying I wouldn't eat the whole day on this.
Go ahead, Ted.
Yeah.
About
Ted.
like mental health, and the problem is I think clearly this is someone who's hurting, and unfortunately there seems to be influence around it and other people following in that procedure. And it's
Kid's 20 years old, by the way.
He's 20 and he started taking testosterone at 14.
And that's another problem, right? Because your body's ability to produce testosterone on its own goes down drastically when you're supplementing or you're injecting testosterone or TRT. But that's what I guess is concerning, because obviously when you have that many people who look up to this guy, there's a need being
Huge
filled.
following.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you say, Annie? Like hundreds of thousands?
That's on Instagram alone, but I'm imagining that on Kick and TikTok that it's so much more. It's got to be in the millions, I would say.
Yeah.
So that's what's concerning to me is that's filling a void for some people, some men who are looking up to this guy to follow the protocols that are not healthy and as a 20-year-old are not needed. Like, if you're look maxing, there's natural ways to do it that don't hurt as much as hitting yourself in the face with a hammer. There's if you don't like your chin, grow a beard, right? If you want broader shoulders, I think clavicular is the name because of the clavicle or the shoulders.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, broad shoulders. And like, dude, just do some lateral arm raises or something. There's so many things that you can do for yourself that isn't going to deteriorate your health in the long run. And that's what is most concerning to me is I see a mental health issue, someone who's hurting, and has influence over so many others
Yeah.
Mhm.
who might be misguided in this process.
Well, and people have pointed out the fact that so his transformation is from the ages of 14 to 19. What happens during that time? You hit puberty. Like and it's different for men and women, boys and girls. Like puberty affects you in different ways. Some people that hits later, some it's earlier. You undergo so many changes. So how much I wonder how much you can actually attribute that to like hitting you or yourself in the face to like, hey, you're just like turning into an adult now, and this is what you're going to look like.
So you made a great point there. And to anyone who's listening who has younger kids, maybe someone in that range, 14 to 18, like I'm gonna tell myself, like those are the awkward stages for a lot of kids. Some
Yeah.
kids go through that.
Tell
I had-
everybody goes through it, man.
Literally everyone.
Yeah.
Kids are brutal. I was called Crunch Bar because of the little pimples that acne that I had on my face. But like I had
Julian,
like a
stop
little
laughing.
tablet.
I'm
on my
laughing.
trial. Yeah, go ahead and laugh because like now I am an adult and I have grown and dealt with those insecurities, but I do think it's part of that growth is like loving yourself through the imperfection into what you become. So I get it. And for anyone who's in that range, sure, I can imagine the difficultness with social media and
Mhm.
more of the visibility, but that is a trend that a lot of us go through of that discomfort, that awkward stage, but you are going to be in your cocoon and you're going to come out as a butterfly.
be a
Yeah.
butterfly.
You are going to be a butterfly.
I mean, like, look, there are some kids who are fortunate enough to like. You see those kids, they never have to deal with the awkward stage, right? And it's just like, okay, you're probably going to be like a child model or like a TV actor, one of those things. Okay, great for you. Most of us look really janky
Some point in our lives.
Like, oh my, like you guys have seen the photos from me when I was
wish I had my high
bald
school
and all
pictures.
that and brace. Like it is, there are some rough stages that would go. Even Casanova over there, Jason Harper. If you see the glasses that this kid,
And they worked. They really worked.
but to Ted's point, yeah, everybody has to go in their cocoon and then they come out a beautiful swan, right?
Yeah.
So it's to follow this kid and think this is the only way that I'm going to be attractive to women, that women are going to talk to me.
Mhm.
No. And we talked about it too, Annie. This is, or you said it or somebody else. It's like the evolution of the Andrew Tate. This is the only way that men should be, and that is not the case at all. In fact,
No.
I would encourage so many to not make those people your role models.
No, absolutely not. And that was also brought up in that interview. And, Clavicular has been seen in the company of Andrew Tate. And the reporter asked about that, who did a fantastic job, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
Asked really good questions, was respectful, not critical of him at all, just literally curious, which I think we all need to be.
Yeah.
Just, about what that meant. And he got upset and ended the interview right then and there. But a lot of it, and I don't think we have time, but a lot of it has to deal with a lot of misogyny and talking about how men view women and not in a respectful way. That's like a whole other podcast, but it has its ties saying like, hey, women are, if you are a heterosexual man, women aren't going to give you the time of day unless you're richer, you are more successful, you look better than everyone else. That they kind of just pinning women into this shallow persona.
He said, like, it's not what women say, it's how they act. So they say they want a
say
guy
they want someone with a good
who treats them
personality.
well and all that stuff, but actually he's like, well, when I go to the clubs, they're in VIP with me, and they're not with these other men they say they want, who care about feelings.
You are
Jason,
outside.
Oh boy.
you've been breathing heavily.
There's so
You
much
have
sighing.
your daughters are around this guy's
Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about all this?
It's not even so much the physical changes that he's forcing on himself. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. You got to let Mother Nature tell, like what you're talking about.
And then when you
Let
get
the
older-
process take its turn. You're right.
Mhm.
What are you going to look like when you're 30, when you're 50? I don't know, right?
Yeah.
So it's not even so much that, because a lot of people go to extreme lengths to change their outward appearance,
Mhm.
right? So it's not even so much that, although I do have an issue with what he's specifically doing at his age. It's the fact that he's doing it to attract one sex while trying to be inferior to his own sex.
Mm-hmm.
Superior, I should say.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So he's trying to attract women, and he's trying to be greater than other men and make them feel bad. So
Yeah.
you're intentionally trying to put down other men and males around you.
Mhm.
So that, I mean, that to me, there's where you're crossing the line in the mental part of it. So yeah, this to me is a conversation with my daughters. Have you heard of this guy? They probably have. They're all on TikTok. What do you think about it? And because I feel like most people would jump to I mean, that's fine. It's his body. He can do what he wants. I guarantee that's probably what most of my daughters would say.
Mhm.
I'm not even questioning that he can't do what he wants to do, but do you think that's healthy the way how does that make you feel as a woman, as a young woman? And then it opens the door to, so what are you attracted to? And then have you ever thought about why? Are you attracted to it because
Wow.
that maybe just in your DNA? Are you attracted to it because maybe that's what you saw your mom or stepmom and I model growing up, and that's attractive to you?
Mhm.
Being affectionate, being a hard worker. Like, are those the things that make you attractive, or is it because you've grown up in the social media age, looking at this
Wow.
stuff
Yeah.
in social media?
Great point.
There needs to be some family conversations with this video.
That
really
why
do.
question is so important. Just to add on is because with social media, we all have our own corners of the world in which we see, and we believe that to be ubiquitous. And I say that on purpose, right? Because we think it's everywhere. Our perception becomes reality, and that's not the case, right? Our perception on social media and our lived experience is only a section of what this whole entire true reality is. And that's what's so dangerous. We can get trapped in that tunnel vision. So that why question, Jason, is so important. It's like, why do we believe what we believe, and why do we do what we do?
I'm going to say this. We'll have more to talk about this. Probably not the last time we're going to talk about
No.
this, because I think the kid's going to be in the news for a while. But we have more things to talk about, including Carnival Cruise Lines and the trouble that they are in. We'll talk about that as we wrap up Morning Edition on the other side of this break. Welcome back into Morning Edition. We're talking about this Carnival Cruise Line passenger who was served 14 shots of tequila, had a massive fall, suffered some medical problems because of it, won a $300,000 lawsuit from Carnival because she claimed that it was the bar staff for serving her. I believe she had a concussion. It was 14 shots of tequila in less than 9 hours on the Carnival Radiant ship. This happened in January of 2024. It's been held up in courts since then. What do you guys think about this? She had a concussion, headaches, back injuries, tailbone injuries, bruising, and possible traumatic brain injury.
We do need to mention, you did mention a couple of specifics here. This was over a 9-hour span.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is not like in a 2-hour window. This is not at one restaurant or bar either.
Right.
This is,
Yeah.
I think, 5 or 6 different bars spread across the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have one bartender who you're kind of pointing fingers at going, hey, buddy, you should have been watching her. So, I mean, there's a lot of factors here.
She said she woke up in the bottom of the staircase in the crew area. She blacked out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She fell down,
Yeah.
blacked out. And then she says, waking up after blacking out and going to the crew and asking them for help and asking them to tell me what happened was extremely frustrating. They gave me conflicting information. They treated me like a criminal.
Huh.
I'm gonna call a spade. Where's the autonomy here? Like you blacked out.
Yeah. And I also want to know, like, where are your people? Where are your friends?
Yeah,
We've all had your friends that get drunk and like wander off and you don't know where they are, but like,
They ain't friends.
No.
At least no more.
right?
real.
You
Yeah,
always
you
have
know
to
what?
keep track
You're
of
right.
your people.
Exactly
What,
right.
we're how many years away removed from the Shankola Robinson where she went down to
Yeah.
Mexico with her friends?
Yep.
Yeah.
It
You're
didn't
right.
make it home.
Right?
Yeah.
That's all still pending.
Oh man.
But I think so. Carnival said they're going to fight this. We
Yeah.
had Khalif Rhodes on the show, and our legal analyst, and saying like this is very rare for a plaintiff to win a case like this against Carnival. But it won because it went to a jury trial. They gave her more than what she was asking. She was asking for $250,000 in damages. They did $300,000. Yeah, I mean,
Jeez.
it's about personal responsibility, and I would imagine that like cruise lines, just like bars, have to have so much insurance and liability. But the point is they're not really going to change policies. To Julian's point that he made is like they're making money on these all-inclusive packages.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wish we had more time to
wish
talk
we
about it. But as the bar says, closing time, last call for Morning
last
Edition.
call.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to leave, but you got to get out of here. We'll be back next time with another episode of Morning Edition when the Hornets are hosting
Yeah,
a
they
playoff
are.
game.
Yeah, they are.
Go Buzz City, go Hornets. We'll catch you next time.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.